It's really dope to see Olivia Holt step into more horror roles. You know, she's definitely making a name for herself as a scream queen, also a final girl. I just got out of watching Heart Eyes. Man, I was really anticipating this movie. This was definitely one of my most anticipated horror movies, not only of the month, but of the year for sure. I always thought that there was something unique about Heart Eyes. We don't normally get a lot of Valentine's Day slashers. Like, you got My Bloody Valentines, you got Valentine, and now you got Heart Eyes. Now, the story for this is pretty basic. So, you have this serial killer that's been going around for about 2 years. He's been going to like Philly, um, different cities. Now he's in Seattle. There's just been a crazy crime spree of him just going around killing people. And we get introduced to our main character, Allie, played by Olivia Holt. And she has to come up with this. She works for this like marketing kind of thing, whatever you want to call it, for some type of brand, and she has to come up with this idea. And she came up with this like kind of morbid um, ad, which puts her in the hot seat. So she has like a deadline where she has to create a completely different campaign for this product or whatever the fuck. But the interesting thing about it is the character Jay, played by Mason, I forget his last name. He was in Scream 5 and 6. He is pretty much the love interest here, but also she looks at him as a threat because he's like, this guy's coming in to take my job, and she's trying to just read the room. And then they start to kind of fall for one another, not by accident, but she is out on like this kind of, you could kind of say it's a date or just kind of like a meeting. And then after this meeting, she runs into her ex and then automatically kisses Jay. And now these two end up kind of getting stuck. They end up getting stuck with each other for the rest of the night, because now there's this killer that's on the loose. And let me talk about the Heart Eyes killer, which I like the design, even the use of the eyes actually kind of glowing up. It's like some night vision. That was really cool. That was a cool trick that they used in this. I like Heart Eyes as a slasher because he's very direct. He likes Valentine's Day for some odd reason. There's like this kind of fetish or kinky that it has, or she or he has. I'm not going to say what that is, because I do think they did a good job of kind of keeping the mystery, even though if you've seen a lot of slashers, this definitely borrows from Scream. I could see a lot of people making those comparisons, and maybe that might lean them more towards like liking the movie or not liking the movie. They might think it's a Scream ripoff in a lot of cases, just set in a Valentine's Day setting, which, to be honest, I'm not too upset about. I'm more surprised on how much they leaned into the comedy. That's the kind of difference between this and something like Scream, where this is not afraid to lean into a little bit more humor. Like, you'll have characters react to the slasher in a kind of humorous way. It's not super scary, I would say, in my opinions, or terrifying. But I like that Heart Eyes as a killer, he's not afraid to just, be out in the open killing people and stuff like that. Like, there's this one scene with at the movie theater or the drive-in that was pretty cool. I will say though, the humor does kind of get a little too much at times, where I think if they would have just leaned pull back on humor on certain scenes, especially like the third act, it wouldn't have come off as so goofy, but I'm all for this. You know, I want to see more of Olivia Holt. I think Heart Eyes has potential to be like the next kind of new franchise for this whole kind of resurgence of slashers that we've been getting. So I'm all for this for sure. You know what I'm saying? Because how they establish the lore of Hard Eyes, it's kind of very similar to Scream and how they establish Ghostface. Hell, like anybody could really be under that mask. And I'm curious to see how other people feel about this movie now that it's out. Um, did it meet my expectations or surpass it? I would say it kind of fell a little short. You know, not completely disappointing or anything. I just wasn't expecting it to be so funny, you know, or inject so much humor. And some of that kind of ruined some scenes for me. But I'm curious to see where they go with this. I definitely just like the fact that we're getting new slashers, new final girls, new just characters in the pantheon of horror, however you want to call it. But if you get around to checking this movie out, let me know your thoughts. How did y'all feel about the kills? I thought the kills were pretty decent for the most part. Pretty creative. Different variations of weapons being used, mostly like a crossbow, because playing into the whole Cupid thing,